There is a lot of emotion here locally over the proposed cuts to Special Olympics. Britt Oas, who's the CEO of Special Olympics Oregon, says she's trying to stay calm.
We're trying to not overreact. It's not the first time that this has happened. In fact, the last couple of years it was cut from the presidential budget, and luckily we have really strong bipartisan support in Congress.
Lawmakers looked at several different programs for potential cuts, including the more than $17 million supporting Special Olympics. Education Secretary Betsy Devos has said she supports students with disabilities, but says the Special Olympics are not a federal program. Oas says the 30 local programs around the state would not be impacted, but it's the Unified Champion Schools that would be under the proposed cuts.
This funding impacts our Unified Champion Schools programs, and what that entails are schools that partner with Special Olympics to create inclusive school communities by having students with and without intellectual disabilities train and compete in sports together.
Right now, Oregon has 112 Unified Champion Schools. Oas tells me they're hoping to expand to 150 by the end of the year, and hopes lawmakers realize how important this program is for kids and families.
It's always surprising to me whenever anybody wants to cut Special Olympics from something because it's so valuable.
Now, I spoke to a mother whose son has been participating in unified sports with the Special Olympics Oregon for the last few years. She says she thinks the proposed cuts, in her words, are crazy. She told me over the phone she has seen kids do better in school having Special Olympics as an outlet.